37, Carlos Mendez.
Come on, Rocco. Rocco!
Now batting number 35, Brian Barcenas.
Come on, B, come on now.
Come on, Brian. You got this.
Come on, B.
Barn, on deck, on his side, behind the dugout. Here we go.
Oh my God, he's a kindergartner.
Go. Come on, line in and drive, Brian.
You're on it. You know what's coming.
Now batting number 2, pitcher Matthew Wembes.
Let's go, Martin.
Come on, Marty. Good miss.
Let's go, Matt.
Now batting, number 8, shortstop, Brandon Dagodi. Number 11, center fielder, Nicholas Alonso.
Come on, Martin, you got this.
Now batting, number 22, catcher,
Come on, boys, let's turn a double. Come on now.
Let's get the out.
Don't worry,
Turn a double, just kidding. But it was nice.
Don't worry about it.
You guys know
You got the right idea.
you guys are here for a while. Martin.
Oh, here we go.
Now batting, number 15, first baseman, Ernie.
Let's go defense.
Good block, Sam.
One, two.
Go to third.
Now batting, number 5, second baseman, Jordan.
Go, Marty. Good.
Go, Jag. One more out.
So batting now for Pembroke Pines is Pablo Bravo, the left fielder. Juanbez worked through the first inning pretty quickly. He generally is more of a closing kind of guy, but Mark Fuentes pitching yesterday in this district final game. As that ball is grounded to second base, Jordan Cordero, making his first start there in a while, throws to Echeverria, and that is the first out of the inning. So Juanbez is usually the regular second baseman, but with him on the mound, Cordero takes over, generally an outfielder, but it's good to have that versatility on the club. So batting now for Pembroke Pines is Justin Acevedo. As that ball is a strike. Look to see Matthew Juanbez get a lot of first pitch strikes early on in this game. Control the count. That's a big swing and a miss there by Justin. And Juanbez has worked him into an 0-2 count. And that ball is taken. Tough take right there. But Acevedo works it to a 1-2 count with 1 out in the inning here. The Wolverines are up 1-0. There's a big hack there. Definitely had the green light to swing. Trying to stay alive in this count. And he swings at that ball in the dirt. Bio bobbles it but gains control. Throws it over to Echeverria. That's the second out of the inning. So Juanbez making quick work of this Pembroke Pines lineup so far. And coming up now is Riley Bambino, the second baseman. There's a big hack there. Juanbez working that low ball early. 0-1 count. That ball hits a Brandon Negoti, and he's unable to gain control. Carlos Mox picks it up. And so there's a single for Riley Bambino. So some 2-out action here for Pembroke Pines. Matthew Webb is going to have to deal with some runners on base. Hopefully he can maneuver out of this inning. And Paul Abolafia coming up to the plate, the third baseman. So Matthew Huembes being careful about his pitch selection here. He's got a runner on first base. Pembroke Pines dugout trying to ignite a fire under their team here early. Erase that 1-0 deficit. Huembes trying to avoid that. Puts the first strike on the board. 0-1 count. Got to keep an eye on that runner at first base. Bile tries to pick him off. The throw is too late. Yeah, Bile likes to do that pretty often, throw over to first base and try and pick off the runners. It's quite the risky play, but Bile has big arms, so there's a chance that he could always throw him out. But for now, Huembes is just worrying about this batter. There's 2 outs in the inning. He handles Paul, and the inning is over. That ball's a little too low to tempt him. So moving to a hitter's count now, 2-1. And here's the 2-1 pitch from Matthew Huembes. Runner thinks about going, decides to hold up. And Abolafia is unhappy he didn't swing at that pitch. 2-2 count now with 2 outs in the inning. We just happened to be in the second inning. And that ball lined into right field. Tossed into Brandon DeGote. So station to station here as Abolafia gets a single off of Matthew Wembes. So now it'll be up to center fielder Julian Gaston to try and extend this inning for Pembroke Pines. Wolverines are going to do everything in their power to prevent that from happening. So Wembes dealing with some early traffic here after he went through a relatively uneventful first inning. Got to keep an eye on both runners on second and first down. And that ball is roped into center field. Nick Alonso catches it, line out to center, and that concludes the inning. So Wembes narrowly avoids some damage here, but Pembroke Pines unable to put anything up, so the Wolverines still lead 1-0. Coming up is the bottom half of the Wolverines lineup in the bottom of the second inning. And here we are getting going here in the bottom of the second inning. Wolverines are up 1-0. Batting is Jordan Cordero, the second baseman for today's game. Matthew Wembes, the regular second baseman, is on the mound. Some intel on this pitcher, his name is Martin Pereira, 1.84 ERA in the season, so definitely not the easiest matchup for the Wolverines, but this lineup is coming off an incredibly impressive 15-0 mercy rule in last night's game against the South Miami Cobras. And that ball is lined just over the second baseman's head, and Cordero has a single, working the defense there, hitting it to the perfect spot. And so the Wolverines get this bottom of the second inning started with a runner on first. So Mikey Cruz up to the plate. Cruz had a very productive day yesterday, but that can be said for most of the Wolverine lineup, especially when you put up 15 runs. Definitely there's a lot harder matchup here tonight with Pereira. He's clearly the staff ace of this Pembroke Pines club. Cruz on the season hitting .323, so that ball is chopped over the third baseman's head. Shortstop deep in the hole, unable to make a throw. And so Mikey Cruz runs out in a single, advancing Cordero to second base. So we got runners on second and first now for the Wolverines as Jose Pepito Fernandez getting up to the plate now. So I mentioned on the broadcast last night, but Pepito Fernandez, he may not look it, but he's actually one of the faster members of this team. And he has a lot of pop in his bat. Cannon of an arm as well. He's really a well-rounded player. So he gets the bunt sign there from Coach Albert. Strike on him now. Coach Albert likes to bunt in these kinds of situations, move the runners over into scoring position. So look for Pepito to lay one down, potentially be faking him out and take a swing at some point during this at-bat. So staff ace Pereira going to have to get around some base runners early in this game. It's been the case for both pitchers this far. Infielders converge, but no bunt was made. So putting some pressure on the defense here. Could be potentially trying to juke him, and then he swings. So Cordero leading off at second base. Cruz on first. Wolverines are up 1-0 against this pitcher and the Pembroke Pines team. Pereira fielded, and it's thrown away. Cordero able to easily scamper home. Mikey Cruz gets all the way to third base as Pepito Fernandez makes it to first base on a throwing error by the pitcher. It was chopped high to him. He made a wild throw. Definitely rushed that throw a little bit, but the Wolverines are going to take it nonetheless. That puts them in a 2-0 lead now. It was last night also that the second inning was a big inning for the Wolverines. They scored 9 runs in that second inning, which really put things out of reach. So Raul Spru coming to the plate now. Raul in a bit of a rough patch right now, but with the way this Wolverine club is going, 10 wins in their last 11 games, he can definitely break out of it in a hurry. And with runners on first and third, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Pereira with the pitch, and Raul gets the bunt sign as well. It gets past the pitcher. Raul has great speed. Cruz scores. That's a fantastic bunt by Raul. He's pumped up. The dugout is, and he should be. That was a fantastic bunt put just past the pitcher. That's beautiful baseball right there. Nice bunt past the pitcher, between pitcher and first base. And this puts the Wolverine offense in a great position with Matthew Huembes, second baseman / pitcher, up at the plate. So Pereira is going to have to work through some early damage here. Huembes also gets the bunt sign. Thrown over to third base, they got the force out there. Huembes makes it to first base. So we still have some runners on here. Huembes on first and Asprue on second base with the young shortstop Brandon Degodi up at the plate. So Brandon Degodi, mention it all the time because it's so true. He's only a sophomore, and he's been playing at a higher level high school baseball for a long time now. He was on JV when he was in 8th grade. And definitely one of the fast risers in this team. He's hitting well over 300, 329 right now. So look for him to fill up, gain some muscle as he grows older, grows taller, and start having some insane power to add to that elite average. Makes good contact on that one, but it's thrown over to second base. They try to get the double play, but Degodi with that speed is safe at first. He's definitely not happy about that one, but Wolverines will take it. It didn't end the inning. So Huembes is out now. Asprue moved to third base, Degodi at first. And Nick Alonso, Louisiana Tech commit, at the plate. So look for Alonso here to get something going. His first at-bat last night, he got plunked with a pitch. Later in the night, he was able to turn it around and be part of the big offensive outburst by the Wolverines. So 3-0 game now with 2 outs in the inning. That ball is low. Nick Alonso is definitely an aggressive hitter at the plate. Not really known for walking a whole bunch, but he does make good contact whenever he swings, especially at those outside balls. He's able to extend real nicely. That ball's fouled back over by Cafe Belen. So Pereira clearly laboring through this inning so far. Definitely, he's only thrown 19 innings on the year, which is something to note. This may be a trend for him. That ball is hit over to second base. Tough play. He flips it over to first, and the umpire rules him safe. The Pembroke Pines Jaguars cannot believe it, and Degodi takes advantage of this opportunity, slides over to third base. So heads-up base running there by Brandon Degodi. And great work by Nick Alonso hustling that play out. Pembroke Pines do not like it. Coach over there trying to argue the call. That's the thing about high school baseball. You can't review the calls. So the Wolverines were lucky that that one went their way. And hopefully they take advantage of it. Chris Bio, big-time home run hitter. 4 home runs on the season. Still waiting for him to hit one while I'm on the broadcast. But he definitely has the potential to make no mistake. So defenders going back to their positions here, and it looks like one of the coaches on the Pembroke Pines team got tossed. Maybe he was just joking around, but he was not happy at all about that call. Saw the umpire motioning with the toss sign. So it looks like umpires are going to converge here. Looking for an administrator. Talking to Carlos Barquin, veteran of the Belen coaching staff. Well over 50 years of service. To try and assess the situation. So quick stoppage here. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the second inning. The Wolverines are winning 4-0. 3 spot put up in this inning, 2 outs. A little bit of background coming into this game. The Wolverines are 18-7. This is the district final game. And their opponent tonight is Pembroke Pines Charter, the Jaguars. They're 8-12 on the season. But they won yesterday 3-1 against the Terra Wolves. So definitely a formidable opponent. The Wolverines, obviously, I mentioned recently, last night they won 15-0 Mercy Rule in 5 innings, which is incredible. They have 10 wins in their last 11 games, and they're 13-4 at home. So this is a team that really enjoys playing under these bright lights. Did start a little later, had some rain and lightning in the area, but here we are with a beautiful evening of baseball. Be even more beautiful if the Wolverines catch the win tonight. So it looks like the coach on Pembroke Pines is going to stay there. It's like Bark did a good job mediating. And we can get back to focusing on baseball. That's why we're here. We've still got runners and first and third. Do not forget about them. And that ball is low. So Bio looking to make something happen here. Got to keep piling on. 4 runs may seem like a lot, but high school baseball, that lead can evaporate in a hurry. And Pereira has been out there for, has to be well over 15, 20 minutes. So, and there goes Alonso, but Bio swings on it anyways, and it's shot into the gap. Center fielder tries to make a diving play. He falls on the ground. Alonso being waved home. Chris Bio going for 3. The catcher, he's getting down, and there's the slide, and he's called out at third base. So Chris Bio breaking the infamous rule not to make the third out at third base. Yeah. Nonetheless, the Wolverines are able to scratch home a couple more runs. As in fact, all the runs had scored by the time the out was made, so they will count. And the Wolverines are now comfortably up 6-0 here as Matthew Huembes looks to get back on the mound here and keep his success going. We'll be back shortly. So welcome back. Here we are getting going in the top of the third inning as the Pembroke Pines Jaguars look to get hitting here against Matthew Huembes. If you're unfamiliar with Matthew Huembes on the mound, you shouldn't be. He's thrown 11.2 innings up to this game. Has an ERA south of 1.6 ERA with a whip around 1. That's pretty fantastic for a second baseman mainly. So coming up for the Pembroke Pines Jaguars is the catcher, Samuel Murillo. So if you missed it, there was a close play at first base. Coach almost got tossed. It was part of a big inning for the Wolverines. They scored 5 runs as Murillo skies that ball into left field. Carlos Moss, a designated fielder for tonight, makes the play. So as I was saying, there were some issues there, but thankfully they were able to get it resolved, and that coach is remaining in the game. Just here to play some high school baseball. So obviously very passionate about the game, both teams. I read it. Here. So here comes the top of the lineup. Alejandro Puig hitting now. Fakes the bunt. Matthew Huembes comes in there with the heat. Just a little off the plate though. 1 ball, no strikes now. So Matthew Huembes is on the mound tonight. Presumably his Wolverines used a couple of their senior pitchers last night. Mark Fuentes started the game. Kevin Castro came in, pitched a little bit. Eduardo Arevalo came to close out the game, 5 innings. Huembes is definitely a very serviceable pitcher. In fact, probably one of the better pitchers on this staff. He just doesn't get the innings that he really deserves. And Puig hits that ball to Dugotti at shortstop. He fields it cleanly, throws it over to Echeverria. Low throw, but he's able to corral it. So Huembes with 2 quick outs in this inning. It's been a trend so far. He works very quickly. That whip just north of 1, I mean, that shows you that he's allowing almost 1 walk and hit per inning that he pitches. He gets through these batters quickly. So now batting is Carlos Mendez, the right fielder. Mendez grounded out to the pitcher his first time around. And that's a strike in there. 2-1 count now. If you're just joining us, two balls and 1 strike now. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. Wolverines are up 6-0. They put a 5 spot last inning. And that ball is weakly flared into left field. Carlos Moss converging on it, and he flags it down easily. And so that'll be the end of the inning. Huembes not exactly going for strikeouts, but to be honest, Wolverines will prefer it that way, keeping that pitch count low and getting these hot batters back in the batter's box. So coming up for the Wolverines, it's going to be the heart of their order. So look for them to do some more damage here. As we have a new pitcher on the mound, we'll talk about him coming soon. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in tonight, the Wolverines are currently up 6-0 as we're in the bottom of the third inning. New pitcher in for Pembroke Pines is Tyler Riesko, 6.26 ERA in 15.2 innings pitched up to this point. So the Wolverines were able to inflict an all-offensive assault against their best pitcher, Martin Pereira, early in the game. And so that's going to prove invaluable later in this game as Ernie Echeverria, another sophomore, coming up to the plate. It's one of 3 sophomores starting in the lineup tonight on this club. So Ernie takes that ball high. Just one thing you have to know about Ernie is that he's probably the most disciplined guy out there in terms of his practice. You'd look at him and think that he's a senior because of how mature he is and how he treats his work. But Ernie's just a sophomore, so a lot of room here to grow and lead this Wolverine baseball program for years to come as he looks to do something here for Tyler Riesko. That ball dropped by the catcher, but called the strike nonetheless. And so the count's even now, 1 apiece. So Ernie takes that one, 1-2. Big part of the Wolverine offense is taking pitches, working walks. Really modern baseball nowadays. Wait until you get a pitch you like. This Wolverine team has no issue hitting in 2 strike counts. And Ernie will face one right here as he takes that pitch away. Didn't tempt him for 1 second. So remains to be seen what the game plan is going to be going for Pembroke Pines going forward. Their ace pitcher out after 2 innings. They have some other arms, but remains to be seen if they pitched yesterday, if they're starters. We'll have to see throughout the course of this game as Ernie lays off that close pitch. And just like that, he's worked it from a 1-2 to a full count now. Definitely want to attack this guy right away. He does give up quite a few base runners with a whip at 1.72. And Ernie pushes that one into the center field. Everyone converging on it. Right fielder, center fielder, and second baseman. Looks like it was the shortstop converging, not the second baseman. Regardless, a lot of Pembroke Pines defenders coming after that ball, but no one called it. And so Ernie blooped that one into that little gap there. And so he's aboard with his second single of the night. His first was an RBI single. So now Cordero's up. Jordan Cordero playing second base. Cordero is one of the few lefties in this lineup. Wolverines have lost a couple over the years. Mark Fuentes, the pitcher from last night, when he used to hit, he hit lefty. But since he's become a dominant pitcher committed to Rice, no need to do that. Cordero lays down the bunt. He's just one of many Wolverine batters with great speed. And the speed is scattered pretty well throughout this lineup. You have some fast guys at the top of the lineup, balance it out with some big boppers, some more fast guys. So really balanced lineup and approach here Jerry Albert has constructed. Ernie Echeverria leading off at first base as Cordero hits that one weakly to third, decides just to go to first, so Echeverria makes it to second base. So productive out there by Cordero. Would have rather gotten a hit, but moves the runner forward, puts him to scoring position for Mikey Cruz to do something. Him and Chris Bio are both Caldwell University commits. So Mikey Cruz has been a staple of this baseball program here at Belen for years. Came over to Belen in 6th grade from St. Kevin. So Tyler Riesko here looking to avoid any damage as Echeverria leads off of second base. And that ball is a breaking ball high. Trying to deke him there with a little ephus. 1-0 count now. So things have slowed down here for the Wolverines, but Mikey Cruz could get that going in an instant. As he takes that pitch, fastball. The count goes even. You're just joining us. There's one out in the bottom of the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mikey Cruz. Wolverines are up 6-0 right now. So if you do the math, in the Wolverines' last 8 innings, they're currently leading 21-0. That's pretty cool. That ball hits the shortstop, but he bobbles it. It's a long way in that shortstop hole, so he's unable to make a throw. So Mikey Cruz reaching first base again. It's the thing with this Wolverine offense, the walks, forcing the defense to make plays, which leads to errors. They don't have a ton of extra base hit power. I mean, Chris Bauer and Nick Alonso, those are your guys to do that. But they make you pay with these tiny little cuts. Tiny cuts will kill you if you get cut by enough of them. And this team is not afraid to bunt, to run, do anything they need to win. It's Pepito Fernandez. He made it to first by hustling. As the pitcher made an error, threw it almost to the batting cage. He's looking to replicate that with a bunt of his own. Let's foul back, so he'll have to go back and do it again. So Echeverria is on third base. The first baseman, Echeverria. Mikey Cruz on first. Tyler Riesco, the pitcher. He replaced Martin Pereira as the starter after he allowed 6 runs here. So Wolverines unfazed by any pitcher they're going against right now. At the end of the day, he's just got to throw it over the plate, and the Wolverines are looking to hit it. And that ball is roped towards the foul pole. It's fair. Right fielder corrals it, but Mikey Cruz able to advance to third. The run easily scores from third base. Pepito with an RBI single. And so the Wolverines are now 7-0. So we got a mound visit here. No action currently in the Pembroke Pines bullpen. So looks like Tyler Riesco is going to stay in here for a little bit longer. Potentially offering some words of encouragement from his guys. And Raul Espuru, been talking about it for a couple days, and how he's looking for that hit to really define his season. And while that bunt in the infield that he got a single on last at bat, it might be the one that he remembers. It was definitely a big play for this Wolverine team as it rolled over to the top of the lineup. So here's Raul Espuru facing off against Tyler Riesco. Runners on the corners. And he goes to lays down the bunt again. So unable to make contact with that one. So there's a strike now. Still only 1 out in the inning as the Wolverines are up 7-0. Plenty of time to do some damage. They scored those runs in the first inning with an RBI single from Ernie Echeverria. And then they really poured it on in the second, scoring 5 runs. They have another run here in this inning, the bottom of the third. And that makes it 7-0 lead now for the Wolverines. So Raul Espuru has been wearing those red batting gloves for years now. It's a signature look. Goes 0-2 here. So Raul is going to look to avoid the K here and put the ball in play. He has great speed, so. And Raul does just that. And again, bobbled, but he's able to throw it to second. That ball is thrown away by the second baseman trying to get the double play. And so that run makes it across. And so the lead moves to 8-0. I don't want to say deja vu, but keep an eye on the scoreboard in this game as the Wolverines are up 8-0 here in the third inning. If the Wolverines were to score 15 runs in 5 innings, the game would be over. Might be 10. I don't know, we had an unreliable source on that one. So the top of the lineup once again, Matthew Wemba is going for his 3rd at-bat here. He's the pitcher. As he makes solid contact with that one. Lines into left field. And so no run scores on that play, but runners have now moved to second and first. So the Wolverines keep this hitting train going with Brandon Degody coming up to the plate. So if you're not familiar with Degody already, I mentioned he's a sophomore. He's one of the better hitters on this team. Baseball really runs in his family. His family at the University of Florida, and his brother is playing in the minor leagues with the Houston Astros. So definitely he has the pedigree to not only be a fixture in this Wolverine lineup, but also be a fixture in whatever lineup he goes in the future. So here we are with runners on first and second base, 2 outs in the inning. The Wolverines are cruising here to an 8-0 lead. That ball just a little high. So this disciplined approach by the Wolverines, and they practice almost every day, late 5, 6 p.m. So they really hone their craft, and play discipline's definitely a focal point. That ball's a strike. Degody didn't like it, but as shown by all these other batters, he's no different. He's comfortable hitting these 2 strike counts. He'll make a swing. He'll take a close pitch, work a walk. At the worst case, he's going to put it in play, and the shortstop has bobbled it a couple times. So it's no guarantee that the defenders are going to get him out. Resco steps off there as he looks to get the signs from catcher Samuel Murillo. And there's the pitch. And it looks good from here, but Degody has a lot better plate discipline than me. He knows that was a ball. So the count moves to 2-2 with 2 outs in this inning. Wolverines are up 8-0. They've put a two spot up so far in this inning. 5 in the last. 1 in the first inning. And that ball bounces, didn't come close. Raul Sprue easily makes it to third base. Slide in just for the swag. And so Degody has worked this, just like I mentioned, from a 1-2 count into a 3-2 count. Nothing's guaranteed in baseball, just like I said about the fielding errors. The same thing with these at-bats. Just because you got a guy in 2 strikes doesn't mean that he's out just yet. So Degody looking to drive home some more runs. Got Juanbez, the pitcher, second baseman, on first. Outfielder playing DH tonight, Raul Sprue at third base. And the shortstop, Brandon Degody, looking to drive him home. Juanbez runs. Raul swings. It's belted into left field. A couple steps in front of the warning track, but it's hauled in. So Raul made good contact in this pretty large field here, but no wind tonight, so that ball did not carry out of here. So we'll see if Matthew Juanbez is going to continue working. There's no action in the Wolverine bullpen, so that looks like it'll be the case as the Wolverines get back on the field here to try and put up another goose egg on the scoreboard. Coming at you soon. So welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the top of the 4th inning. Pembroke Pines Jaguars coming up to hit once again, although their hitting hasn't proven fruitful just yet, they have a goose egg on the scoreboard. No runs to show so far. The Wolverines have been the complete opposite. They've put up 8 runs so far early on in this game. As Brian Barcenas, the 3-hole hitter, and the DH is up to the plate. And that ball is low. So a ball to start this inning. Matthew Wemba is still working on the mound for the Wolverines. So this is looking like one of the longer outings of the season for him. That ball hit into right field, and it's bobbled by Pepito Fernandez. Thankfully, it looks like it's not going to turn into something greater as he's able to get to that one quickly. So a little scare there by Pepito, but it's just a single, nothing to worry about. Brian Barcenas is aboard. He's one of the better hitters in that lineup, though, hitting .433, so they're able to limit him to just a single. It's definitely not the worst thing that could have happened. And now hitting is Pablo Bravo, the left fielder. That ball is low, so that's a ball here. Matthew Wemba needs to start with these strikes. That's been the key to him all night, and really that's the key to good pitching in general. You start the batter with a strike, that immediately changes their mindset on the at-bat. Can't let him think he has a chance to do anything here. Can't forget about that runner leading off of first. And Wemba does good work there, even in the count. There's 1 ball, 1 strike. If you're just joining us, here we are in the early goings of the 4th inning. The Wolverines are leading by a score of 8-0 as the Jaguars start this inning off. There's a runner on first base. And there's the 1-1 pitch from Wembes. It's in the dirt. Chris Bio makes a cannon throw over there. Brendan Degote unable to get it under control. And so Brian is able to advance over to second base on the wild pitch by Matthew Wembes. It's a short backstop back there, so if it got past Bio, it probably would have been the same result. But now Wembes has a runner in scoring position he has to keep in mind. But the Wolverines are sitting pretty here with the 8-0 lead, so that ball's fouled back, and Wembes has him in a pitcher's count, 1-2. There's a 1-2 pitch from Wembes, and that's chopped high. Brandon Degote able to feel it without it bouncing, and Ernie Echeverria, consistent as ever, playing defense on first base. That's the first out of the inning. So Barcenas able to advance to third on the throw, but he's the least of their worries right now. They got to focus on the batter ahead, Justin Acevedo. So we have a runner on third here, 1 out in the inning. Wolverines leading by a score of 8-0. And that ball hit into right field. Pepito converging on it, Degote nearby. Cordero. And the runner does not tag, so maybe they heard what I was saying about Pepito's cannon of an arm. So that's a big out for the Wolverines here. So now Wembes can really just focus on this batter and keep his ERA scotch-free for this game. So Riley Bambino comes up to the plate. He reached on an error by Brandon Degote earlier in the game. But since that error, the Wolverine defense has been locked down. Defense is one of those fundamentals you got to work on nonstop. It's like a lawn. You always got to mow it. Can't forget about it. 0-1 count now. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is probably the longest outing of the year for Juembes. Thrown 11.2 innings on the year coming into this game. But potentially this is an audition for him to get a more expanded role as we go deeper into this playoff run as we're in the district finals. 0-2 count now with two strikes. That ball was a chase pitch. Batter laid off of it, but Juembes is going to go back in the strike zone pretty soon here. So Wolverines are up 8-0. Pembroke Pines Jaguars are looking to make something happen here with two outs. And that's a strikeout. Batter thought he fouled it off, but so Juembes hasn't struck many batters out tonight, but that one definitely much appreciated as he keeps the runner from third from scoring. And so here come the Wolverines again, looking to expand on this lead, move into mercy territory. So welcome back, everybody. Tyler Riesco going out here for a second inning of work after giving up 2 runs last inning. He's going to have a tough challenge here with the heart of the Wolverines order, Nick Alonso, the center fielder, coming up to the plate. Alonso, deadly mix of speed and power. As he takes that pitch. So Riesco, not one of the better pitchers on this team. Only allowed 2 runs last inning, though. As that's a strike. Alonso took the ball for the first pitch of the at-bat, so the count has moved even. Alonso leading the team in average, hitting .351. He really has a do-it-all attitude. He's able to hit for a high average. He's pretty aggressive, but he also walks a fair bit. So Riesco stepped on the mound for a second, but he's back, and here's still 1-1 pitch. That ball tails away. So if you're just joining us, the score is 8-0 right now. Wolverines are leading 1-1 count on this nice cloudy night here as a foul ball goes over towards the third base dugout. Third baseman ranging over, overestimates it, drops it. We were in a lightning delay here for a couple hours. Game scheduled to start at 6 p.m. 1-2 count now. Alonso did get an infield single earlier in this game, scored a run. One of many runs that the Wolverines have put up tonight. That's really the thing about this team. It's always a complete effort. Never look at the stats and say it was that guy that made the difference. Alonso took a big hack at that pitch. One of these days when Alonso times that up, you're going to see it go a long way. So things have kind of simmered down here after the electric second inning where the Wolverines scored 5 runs. That ball is skied foul into the Wolverine bullpen. So Alonso staying alive here. He's going to swing at anything close. And here's the pitch. It's high and Alonso lays off of it. So the count is 2-2 now. Still no outs in the inning. It's definitely a battle here of mind games between Alonso and Riesco. A lot of timing. And Alonso hits that one to shortstop, unable to flag it down. And so Alonso with a clean single there, increasing that average, 351 even more. So Riesco's going to have to deal with more traffic on the bases. It's been a trend for both the pitchers that Pembroke Pines has put up there tonight. Chris Bio, I've been praying for him to hit home run now for weeks. Hopefully tonight is the night. Chris Bow's been on this varsity team for a long time. He's a Caldwell commit, just like Mikey Cruz. He's one of the first guys that on the JV team, you realized he wasn't in the dugout, and you looked over at the varsity field and he was starting at catcher. Nick Alonso running on second base on that wild pitch. That's bounced into center field, but Alonso decides to hold up right there. He slid into that bag. Maybe had some dirt in his eyes, because he definitely has the wheels to push to third base there. With no outs in the inning, no reason to force the issue here. Look for Chris Bauer to put a ball in play, get Alonso to third base, a hit, or whatever it takes. So Riesco, just like Pereira in the first 2 innings, he's having to throw a lot of pitches here. Not a lot of innings to show for it. So look for Bio to hit something into the outfield. He has more of a launch angle type of swing. Reminds me a lot of Miguel Sano for some reason in the box. His count moves to 1-2. He always looks like he's ready to unload on a baseball. So still no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning here. Wolverines are up 8-0. This is the second pitcher for the Pembroke Pines Jaguars. And Bile lays off of that one. Tough take. Look good to me. If I was in the box, I would have swung at it. But 2-2 count now. Bio staying alive, looking for that home run pitch, anything to drive. So Bio loading up here. And he chops that one. Bark almost handles it here on the third base side. Narrowly misses me, but we're good. We're good. The third baseman smiled a little bit when he saw Bark about to make that play. Belen legend of sports for over 50 years. And Bio ropes out one into left field, going back. It's over his head. Just barely misses a home run, but that's still a hell of a hit. Bio sliding into second base, and he is out. That's painful for the Wolverines. He might have been admiring that one a little bit. That was a hell of a hit. Don't let that sign in left field tell you anything. That's definitely not 335. That's a long way. And Bio absolutely demolished that baseball. That's the price you pay with some of these balls. You want to admire it a little bit, but you got to put your head down and keep running. That's probably the message that Coach Jerry Albert was telling Bio just there. But regardless, the Wolverines are able to get home another run. Cost of only 1 out. And now they lead 9-0. Mercy rule territory still around. Tyler Riesco is showing a bit of uncertainty here on the mound. Maybe he's getting the sign, hearing something from his coaches, or he's just messing up the Wolverine timing. So far it has not worked. He's allowed 3 runs in his 1.1 innings of work so far. So here we are with 1 ball, 1 out in the inning. And up at the plate is Ernie Echeverria. So Ernie takes that pitch. He's worked into a 3-0 count. So Ernie's done a fair bit of damage so far. He has 2 singles, one of them an RBI single that started the scoring for the Wolverines in the first inning. And that ball is launched into left field just as far as Bio onto the warning track. But alas, it's just a loud out. So some wind would have definitely helped the Wolverines. That's the farthest bar I've ever seen Echeverria hit so far. But don't worry, look for him to hit the weight room in the next couple years. He's going to be driving those out of the park easy. Now, Jordan Cordero's a guy that can drive it out too. That sweet left-handed swing, that short 305 corner. I almost hit it out myself a couple years ago. As Cordero takes that pitch. Cordero has singled earlier in this game. He calls time there. So the timing games continue between Tyler Riesco and these Wolverine batters. Cordero might be in on it. He knows that they're in a battle right now. Mind games. Riesco nods. Cordero takes a big swing at that one. 1-1. Has that sweet one-handed follow-through. Reminds me a bit of Ken Griffey. Cordero's more of a simple hitter. Doesn't worry about all that flair. Just worrying about making quality at bats. 1-2 count now. But don't expect Cordero to be fazed by that. Cordero's playing second base tonight. And Cordero lines that one the opposite way. Left fielder has to chase after a fair bit. Cordero will settle with a single. So some opposite field action for the lefty, Jordan Cordero. That's always nice to see. It's a good, solid approach there. Not trying to pull that. He pulls that. It goes straight to the second baseman. It's a weak chopper. So here comes the coach for Pembroke Pines. Looks like he might be pulling him. I see a pitcher waiting on the wings. It looks like that's the case. As new pitcher in now for Pembroke Pines, will come at you with the scouting report on him pretty soon. For now, we'll be taking a short break. So we have the scouting report on this new pitcher. His name is Sebastian Gonzalez. He has a 7.52 ERA and 22.1 innings pitched, 2.24 whip. So I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is that the Wolverines have a good chance of scoring a couple more runs here, even if there's 2 outs. You know, any pitcher can have a good game, but I like the trends here for the Wolverines. So Mikey Cruz is up. He's singled twice in this game. So he lays off that one. 2-0 count. Cruz calls time there. So looks like Coach Barkeen has something to say to the home plate umpire. Oh, it looks like the Lightning might be potentially getting too close. So something we're going to have to keep an eye on here. He's informed the umpire of the status, but looks like we will play on for now. So Mikey Cruz at the plate here, 3-0 count. He takes that pitch. The count has moved full. And that ball shot the opposite way once again. So some opposite field hitting here. Cordero slides into third base. So Mikey Cruz with a 3-hit night for himself. So Pepito Fernandez coming up to the plate here. He reached first on an error by the pitcher in the early frames here. Just got away from Jordan Cordero. I feel like a superstar. If you're just joining us, 9-0 game right now. Wolverines are up, 2 outs. Looks like the dugout was a little bit concerned with Sebastian Gonzalez here. He waves him off, letting him know he's fine. So that's a storyline we're going to have to keep in mind. There's the lightning flaring over this field. So hoping we can play on here. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. At least the rain has ceased. That ball's low. Catcher looking for it, but runner's unable to go anywhere. Pepito very quietly has a very high average on this team, hitting .356. Actually leads the team. Maybe when Nick Alonso's hits today, he's still in the lead. It's been a tightly contested race as he hits that one to shortstop, and the shortstop is unable to corral any of those close plays. And that's been the difference maker for the Wolverines. The walks, forcing errors. I mean, it sounds repetitive because it is. The Wolverines do the same thing every night, and it works. It's led to this great 18-7 record and this great run, 10 wins in their last 11 games. So you come up with a successful game plan, you stick to it. And Raul Sprue coming up to the plate. He singled earlier in the game on a bunt. Wolverines got into a fair bit of bunting early on. That ball's a little bit high. Raul doesn't like it. Called the strike. 0-1 count with 2 outs in the inning. The Wolverines are up 10-0. So You do the math. In their last, 9 innings? Their last 9 innings, they're currently leading 25 to nothing. So that's a fun stat to keep track of. This account has worked 0-2 here. The Spru made good contact even after falling 0-2 in his last at-bat. So don't count him out just yet. We have runners on first base. You have Jose Fernandez over there. Mikey Cruz at second. Sebastian Gonzalez looking to get out of this inning. And that ball is high. So Raul takes a ball there. 1-2 count now. He takes that pitch. It's called a strike. Raul incensed about it. I think more upset with himself than the call. He knows that he could have hit that pitch. But unfortunately, baseball is a game where you blink once and the pitch is already past you. So you got to stay locked in. So we'll see if Matthew Huembes is going to return for this game. I mean, he would be basically having the same workload as he has all season. So we'll come at you soon. So here we are in the top of the 5th inning. Matthew Huembes has been pitching a stellar game so far, lowering that .6 ERA, that minuscule ERA, going even lower. And so now batting for this team is number 24. Paul Balafia Jr. Huembes works with that strike. So no signs of slowing down here, even after handling the biggest pitch load he has had all season. And that ball going to Carlos Mas in left field. He's a designated fielder tonight. He's had a rough season with the bat, but he's a sure-handed defender as any. He plays some first base as well. So Huembes has nothing to worry about with this Wolverine defense behind him. Got people ready to plug in the holes. You see Jordan Cordero filled in at second base with Huembes on the mound. And so there's a strike to the next batter, Julian Gaston, the center fielder. So we'll see what the plan is for the Wolverines later on in this game. If they're going to go to any other pitcher, they're going to let Huembes keep working. See, it's been going well so far. That's Chop to Degodi. throws on the run. Echeverria stretches for it and calls him out. So that tandem of the Wolverine defense working wonders as usual. Those guys are going to be fun to watch for years to come. So Samuel Murillo, the catcher, 9-hitter, coming up to the plate now. So Juembes has a chance to finish off this bottom of the order quick and get his guys back in the box. And that ball's a strike, so Matthew Juembes bringing a smile to my face, starting these batters with a strike every single time. That's nothing new for him. He's made great strides his pitching this year. Pitched on a couple occasions in JV when I played with him, but this is the first time I've really seen him excel in this kind of situation as the main option. And he almost has him there on 3 pitches. I would have given it to him. 1-2 count now. 2 outs in the inning. No runners on, so nothing to sweat here. If that 10-0 lead wasn't big enough. Juembes working fast here. He felt like he could have had him right there. But he's probably in a great rhythm right now. He's controlling the tempo of these at-bats. Looks like catcher Chris Bio is getting some good signs here. That ball fouled back. So Wolverine defenders have not had to stay out on the field too long for any one inning in this game. Can't be said for Pembroke Pines. They're trying to get a rally going. They're shaking waters, it looks like. Or Gatorade, I don't know. They're shaking something. The catcher's throwing it. So that was a strikeout. And looks like that was the end of the game. So our unreliable source proves unreliable once again. It's actually 10-0, not 15-0. So this is the end of the game for the Wolverines. So if you just caught us at the very end of the game, the Wolverines were leading 10-0, and that ends the game. So the Wolverines have now won the district championship. I believe this is the first one since 2016. Don't quote me. There's some banners outside the field. So in conclusion, that's it. Another mercy rule for the Wolverines. They've played 10 innings of baseball, and they've scored 25 runs. So I like our odds going forward. So we'll be coming at you with the next game, whenever that will be. So signing off tonight for WBLN, I'm Sebastian Gonzalez. I was aided by Adrian Escudi. And we hope you guys have a wonderful night. Go Wolverines.